we will go to the next thing. What is it? Join tables in ABAP. So you have seen it like in the earlier section where I joined like EKPO and
APO.
right? Those tables in the views, correct? So now
Yes.
what we will do is programmatically we will join the tables in the ABAP. So if you see here the structure, whatever I am showing you, so there is called as SPFLI, so amended char ID, con ID, and there is something called as SCARR, amended char ID and char name. So if I want to join, so what I will join? So I'll join on the mandate and then I'll join on the char ID. Okay, so whatever the key fields are there, primary key fields are there, we'll join it. So and then we can see that the joining columns, once we join it, so these are the fields which we can display it. Correct? So how do we, there are two ways to implement a join. One is to create a DB view, which I showed you earlier to correspond to a table join. And another one is in the program where we select it and we use the join statement to join the table. Okay. So now if I want to show you in the program level, so let's do that quickly. So, so this is a join demo. And after that, we will have this for all entries. Okay. Join. So let's try to do this. We will declare, I will try to join two tables. One is the SPFLI and another one is SERR. Okay. So, so I'm taking from city from, so I am actually city from type SPFLI city from. Okay. And then so these three fields are from SPFLI, and there is one more field from
In the
SEARR.
spelling, I mean the city from. I think you have to change the spelling.
Right. So this naming convention why I have given is I'm taking three fields from SPFLI and one field from SERR. Okay. Now what I will do is I
Yeah.
will declare an internal table under work area. Similarly, so lt underscore join type table of ty underscore SPFLI underscore scar. Okay. And either you can use ls or as I said work area, so you can use this also, this naming convention as well, right? So I'll use type ty underscore spfli underscore scar. Correct. There is one more way also to declare it. That way is you can declare it like this. So join like line of. If you remember, I told you right that like statement comes into picture whenever you have already declared a type and you can just make use of that type in your like. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So I'm just keeping it for your reference. So after this, what we'll have to do is I'll use a select query. Okay. Select star from SPFLI. So whenever you join two tables, we have to use alias. Okay. So this car as SC, and we have to use this. So this is the syntax on condition. Okay. And this symbol. Okay, for joining condition. Okay, so that comes like shift. There is one symbol towards the left of one on your keyboard. Okay, so you have to use like this for joining. for the join condition. Once you practice it, it will be much easier. So we are combining it based on the primary key fields of these two tables. This is the join condition. Okay. In the normal select query, what we were using where clause, but in case of the like your join, you have to use on condition. Now here you can see I'm using corresponding. Why corresponding? Because my structure is having only 4 fields, but whenever I am doing select star, that means it will take into picture all the fields. So if I have to place my fields into this, like the values into this structure, then I have to use the corresponding fields of table, so that it gets mapped to those fields which I have declared in my structure. Correct? So now loop at lt join into wa join. Correct? There is something called as field symbols, but as of now I'm not telling you about the field symbol. Let's go with the work area. Going forward, we will see about the field symbols. So we'll use this like this, char id, con id, city from, and the car name and loop. So here you can also check if size over c equals to 0. Inside that, you will run your loop. Okay. So now let's see. You cannot use an internal table as work area. It's of table. I missed this one. That's why. Okay. See, this symbol comes only when you are doing the join, either join or inner join. So this is the on condition. This is the syntax.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's. So what we have done, we are taking 3 fields from SPFLI and 1 field from SCAR. We are joining it based on their key fields, and then we are whenever we are trying to read it, so we are just looping it and we are showing the records. So now if I want to execute it, let's see how our LT join looks like. Okay, so if I go here, so if you see this, how many records are there? So it is a combination of both from SPFLI and SCAR. That's why we have 26 records, if you can see this, right? We don't have this field inside our SPFLI. So car name, right? So we are getting it from SCARR. So when, if the size of value equal to 0, then we are displaying it. So now when we display it, it displays like this. Okay. So this is how your join works. So now, like for all entries in ABAP, so this is also similar to your join, but here what happens is in your for all entries, the duplicate. So join is generally used when multiple tables are there into picture. So it join can be used for more than 2 tables or more than 4 tables like that. But for all
Okay.
entries work best when it is 2 tables. Okay, if you have to join 2 tables, then for all entries works best, and it is more preferable. It works like the performance is great and also the speed is more in case of for all entries when we are joining 2 tables. In the for all entries, what we will get, duplicate rows are automatically removed. Okay, so this allows you to build an internal table and then restrict the second database select to only get the entries contained in the first internal table. It works as exactly as the inner join. For all entries eliminates the duplicates from the result. For all entries works best when there are 2 tables to join. Our join works with more than 2 tables. Okay, so this is what I was telling you. So let's go, and if the internal table used in the clause is empty, then all the rows in the source table will be selected. So in case of our for all entries, the minimum prerequisite is, one thing is, whenever we are doing the select query on the first table, we have to check if that internal table values are empty or not. Okay. And the fields used in the for all entries must match the types of the fields of the database table. So, and when we use the for all entries along with other things, you would also definitely want to make sure that we have all the key fields in the internal table and we are selecting them as to avoid the data inconsistency. So if I want to display you the for all entries here, okay, so let me make a for all entry as well, demo. And this is the last topic on our for all entries. Then we have something. So I'll just take another 4 or 5 minutes on this. Okay. Just done. So let's take something called as, we'll take another table called as EKKO. Okay, we take a work area here. Either you can use like line of TKKO, or you can use type of EKKO. Okay, this is another way just to declare, so that's why I'm just using it so that you can refer it later. And we use EKPO, right? Standard table of EKPO, and here another work area like line of LT EKPO. Okay, so these are our declaration. So what I will do is, first select will be like, say for example, I will, oh sorry, select star from EKKO, select star, since I have taken all the fields, let's take it, since EKKO is a big table, so I'm just taking up till 10 rows, okay, just to show, from EKKO into table LT EKKO. Okay, this is as simple as that. Then first we will display EKKO records. Okay. Right. I'm just displaying only the EKKO ABLM. Okay. Then what we will do is we'll use a for all entry here. Okay, so here what I will have to check, if your LT EKKO is not initial. That means it has some values. Correct? Is initial means it is empty. Is not initial means it should have some values. Okay, this is a mandatory thing which we need to check. So what we will do is we'll use the select star from EKPO, okay, into table LT EKPO for all entries here, okay, LT EKKO. Whatever entries you have in EKKO, based on that we will select it from EKPO. Now we'll have to check ABLN equals to LT EKKO ABLN. Okay. So here again we'll have to check if size sub C equals to 0. I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to do. I'll show you in the debugger as well right now.
Okay.
Okay. So we will loop at lt underscore ekpo into wa underscore ekpo. We will write first ekpo abelin and wa underscore ekpo abelp. This is the line item. Okay. And we'll end the loop. Okay.
I mean, you have selected two fields, right? E-billion
Yeah.
and
So
EBLAP.
I'll show you. See, when you go to EKO, okay. So what we are doing here? So we are purchasing. This is a purchasing document header. The key field is the ABAP. Correct.
Right.
Now
Right.
I told you, right? Purchase a document header and line item. If you remember in the first class, I told you,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
there is something called as 16 and EKKO and EKPO. Okay. Now, if I want to join EKPO with EKKO, what will be my key criteria? ABLN. On the ABLN only we'll able to join. So in
Mhm.
EKPO, if you see, there is something called as item as well, item numbers as well.
Okay.
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 So what I have done, first I am, let me go to the select query. First I am selecting some till 10 rows. I am selecting it from EKKO. Okay. And I am just displaying the EKKO ABLN. There is no condition here because we don't have thing called as parameters, or I have not checked in anything based on any condition. So it will select all the 10 rows first, correct? Then I'm checking if this internal table is not empty. That's the prerequisite for a foral entry. We'll always have to check if it is not empty, because if you don't check if this is empty, then what it will do is directly take whatever values. This condition will not be valid. Then it will directly take whatever values are there in the second table ekpo. That's
Okay.
why, in order to make this foral entry successful, we have to check this is not initial and it should have some value. Only then you have to do the foral entries in EKKO. Based on whatever abelin we have here, we will get the values here in EKPO. You got my point? So let me show you in the debugger. Then you will be able to understand. So first, what we are doing is, okay. First, I selected 10 rows. So there are 10 rows here, correct? So based only on this abelin, so if you see in the EKPO, how many entries are there? Some 39,557 records. I don't want all the records. I want only those records which are there in EKKO. Based on those abelin, I want to fetch the records from EKPO. You got my point? So now I'm first displaying it in here. Okay. Then let me come here. So I'll display all the EKKO abelin. So it will display all these abelin. Correct? All the purchasing document like this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like this up till 14. First, it will display that much. After that, what I'm doing, if the LT EKKO is not initial, which is true, correct? It will come inside the select query. See, if you see this cursor, it comes inside the select query. Then what it does, it checks if those abelin are found in EKPO, you fetch those records. So now our LT is
You mean to say that
empty.
E-billions in EKKO if they are found in EKPO?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever purchase header document are there, only for those records, I want to display the records from purchasing line item. You got my
Okay.
point? Even
Right.
if I have 35,000, 39,000, I don't want all the records. I want only those records which are present in EKKO. Based on that, I need the records from EKPO. So when you do
Okay.
this, okay, so there are certain 30 records based on the ABAP here. Okay, so if you see this, only 555, 666, 777, these are all
Right.
line items. Okay, till
Okay.
14 only you will find. Till only 14 you
Okay.
will find. You will not find any other thing. So now I am just displaying it. So let's execute this. See. So if you see this up till this much, I should have given some space actually. Underline I should have given. So up till this much, this is EKKO record, and from here it is EKPO records. Got my point? What I will do, wait.
Sorry, can you just execute that again, Manthali?
Yes, let me execute this. See.
So for 4205 eBalance, we have two line items, 0010 and 0020.
Three line items. Three line items.
Okay, three
Then
line items.
for 6,
Okay,
again we have three line
three line
items.
items. Okay. So
Okay, so
EBELP is the line item, and
yes.
yeah, which is from EKPO. Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, tell me.
Okay. No, that was my question actually.
Yeah, so EBELP is the line item. EBELN is the purchase order number. So
Right. Yeah.
first you are displaying it from EKKO. So this records whatever you are seeing, it is from this right statement. This one, correct? This is the
Okay. Yeah.
purchase order here.
Right.
And then you are displaying the ABLN and ABLP. So that is how
Right.
it is looking like this. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Got it? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's it for today's class. And we have something called as the authorization check. Okay. So I will display this, like generally these authorization checks are means of protecting functions or objects in the R by 3 systems. So what happens in the authorization object is you are creating a program. Okay. When in the real time, whenever you are in a program, you are creating programs and you are in any implementation project, not all the programs will be accessible to all the users. Okay. In that case, the authorization checks come into the picture. So we implement this authorization check in the program so that the user will have only access to the objects where he or she is authorized. Okay, not all the objects will be accessible to you. If you can see some of the transaction codes in your SAP logon, you are not authorized to use it. Correct? If you have seen, like you are not authorized to access this
Yeah.
particular T code, that comes to
Yeah.
picture through the authorization check only. Okay, so
Okay.
we create this authorization check from SU20. We create the fields, and then in SU21, there is another T code where we create the object class in the authorization object. So unit 4 and 5 is done. So just have a look into the recording and practice it. The more you practice, it will help. It will be helpful actually.